Folks, why do I have to pay these fees? I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for condos across the GTA for week ending March 27th, 2024. Thank you to the many of you that have subscribed to this channel. There's lots of you still that you're here every single week. You like the content. You've not yet subscribed. Consider subscribing. So I get asked this for my buyer clients. Why do I got to pay these fees when I want a freehold property? Well, let me explain. This fee is called a POTL fee, and it's amazing how many people don't know what this is, and we're seeing more and more freehold properties with monthly fees associated with them. So let's start. You should know, and just to be clear, any of the charts that I put on the board when I'm talking about condos, they're condo apartments. And everybody, I would assume, kind of gets the whole condo apartment concept. You buy the condo, you don't own the land, there's a condo board that sets rules up for the condo. They tell you how many pets and what size of the pets can be in your condo. If you want to change your windows in your condo apartment, you can't. It's the condo board that'll decide when the windows are going to be changed. If there's common elements, you're using the elevator, you're using the parking, you're using the hallway, everybody shares in that, and your monthly fees, your monthly condo fees, go to maintaining this condo apartment. Most people get it and understand that. Well, there's condo townhouses also that run the exact same way, but instead of being in an apartment in the sky, looks just like a condo. It looks just like a townhouse, but it's a condo townhouse, and it's run by a condo board, and they're going to make decisions as to what could happen in that space that condo townhouse occupies. And you do not own the land. Just like in a condo apartment, you do not own the land. You do not own the land of a condo townhouse. So I'll be working with a client that'll tell me they want to buy a freehold townhouse. Great. We're out looking at freehold townhouses, but one of them will have a monthly fee associated with it. And they'll say, oh, sorry, Santo, I think you made a mistake. I only want to see freehold townhouses. And I'll explain. That fee is called a POTL fee, P-O-T-L, parcel of tied land. And it is a freehold townhouse with a monthly fee attached to it. It is not a condo townhouse. And in fact, on land registry, the way that townhouse is registered, it says freehold. It's a freehold townhouse. So we are seeing more and more of these townhouses that are freehold with a POTL fee. Here's how they work. Well, let me go the opposite of that. Everybody gets the freehold townhouse. You buy a townhouse, it's freehold. The property that it's on, you own. If your windows need replacing, you as that townhouse homeowner, just like a detached property homeowner, you're going to replace your window. It's your expense. There's no other fees. You're going to pay your property tax. You're going to pay your utility bills. You're not sharing water with, your neighbors. It's not part of any fees. You're responsible for everything to do with that property, including the land that the home is on, because you own it. That's freehold. Well, what we're seeing more and more of are these freehold properties that are in their own little community. So the street that you're driving into that townhouse complex, and the visitors parking, and the swings and the monkey bars that are there, the little playground set there for the kids, those are common elements. And then the snow needs to be removed from that road. It's not the city of Toronto or the city of Peel or Markham, or it's not them that are actually paying for the snow removal there. It's the group of townhouses that are there that own their freehold townhouses. But the community that they're in, they all need to chip in every single month for snow removal, for maintenance of that private road. And that's where the whole POTL, parcel of tied land, you've got your freehold property, you own the land that it's on, but the community around it, the roads, the playground, the visitor parking, that all needs to be maintained. And like I said, it's not maintained by the city. All those homes that live in that community chip in every month, and there is a kind of like a condo board that manages and runs all this. That's the difference between the POTL and the condo. So the POTL is a freehold property, but you share in some common elements. Why is this important to know? Well, the offers for these POTL fee townhouses, it's different than the form used on a regular freehold property. It needs to be different because you've got that monthly fee. A freehold property, the offer does not include that anywhere. On an offer on a POTL, you need a different form that includes what the monthly fee is, so the buyer is aware. And also in the conditions, you've got your typical financing condition and home inspection conditions. Everybody should know by now when you're buying a condo apartment in the sky, there's a review for the lawyer reviewing the status certificate. Well, the POTL also has a status certificate associated with it, so you'll need that condition. And many times we see buyers or buyer's agents submitting offers on the wrong form. We just sold a POTL townhouse and it was on the wrong form, and we need to correct that because we need the buyer who's buying to fully understand that they're assuming these monthly payments, so there's no way that later anybody could say, I didn't know, I want to back out of the deal. So there is a difference, and there's more and more POTL type townhouses being built out there. You should be aware. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. If you want to speak with me about your situation, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. Below in the description, there's a link. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, if you're looking for a starter condo by Young and Wellesley, check out the video at the end of this video. Let's get started. We're going to start here. Now, this is, although the show I'm going to be talking about condos for different parts of the GTA, this chart here is really just for the City of Toronto condo apartments broken down by month, and I've got multiple years on the board here. And if we look at sales, I've got every March going back to March 2020 highlighted in black, both the sales and the average sold prices. So let's just look at the sales here. For March 2024, 1,068 condos were sold for the month. Maybe you think that's good, maybe you think that's bad. Whatever it is, I got to tell you, it's the lowest we've seen in a while. March 2020, it was 1,390. So one of the lowest months we had before the years was March 2020. Going back just in recent years, we're lower than that. So March 2024 is a very low month as far as condo sales goes. And I'm going back to March 2020. Let's look at average sold price. $728 for March 2024. For March 2023, 733. So not a lot of difference. It's pretty much the same when we compare. We're basically 0.7% lower than we were this time last year. Like I said, not a lot changed. The prior year, when we talk about peak pricing, well, that's where we were March 2022. Condos reached their highest price. 832 was the average price for condos, and we are currently sitting at 12.5% lower than where we were March 2022. And we can go back and back. I'm going to go to 2020, March 2020. We're only 2% higher than March 2020 prices. So since 2020, really not a lot has changed. Yes, prices went up, but they have come down. So we're only really 2% higher than March 2020. Where you can see a difference is if we go to March 2019, we're 21% higher average sold price versus March 2019. I do not have March 2019 on the board, but we're 21% higher than the average sold price for March 2019. Let's take a look at really what we're going to be discussing in detail for this show. We're talking condo apartments. We've got Toronto, York Region, and Peel. We're going to look a little closer in a little while at what happened to Peel, because prices for Peel really came down for week ending March 27. But for York Region and for Toronto, especially Toronto, it's almost a straight line there, trending upwards. Not aggressively, but trending upward. So here's the city of Toronto. 253 condos were sold for week ending March 27th. 25 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price up a bit to $733,000. And that's almost a straight line there, especially the last 4 or 5 weeks. Compared to last year's 733, it's 2% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 1% lower, and the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, it's pretty clear. Both average and median price are trending upwards. Not aggressively, but they are pretty steadily trending upwards. So let's look a little closer at sales. If we kind of go back to the beginning of the year, the orange, those are sales this year. The blue, that's a year ago. Well, the beginning part of, we got January and February basically. We were outpacing sales for the same week a year ago. But since the last week of February to now, except for 1 week where they're pretty close, we're actually underperforming versus sales done for the same period a year ago. Sold at list price or more, 33% of those 253 sold at list price or more. So the percentage of condos selling at list price or more is trending upwards. We had 1 week here where they kind of fell flat, but overall trending upwards. Listings were increasing, but for week ending March 27th, listings came down. I can kind of sort of explain it. Week ending March 27th is the week before Easter weekend. And there's many sellers that'll have the idea of, I'm going to list after the Easter holiday versus the week leading up to the Easter holiday. So I can see that affecting the amount of listings that do come onto the market. Active listings drop from 1 week to the next, and months of inventory sitting at 3.3. And I did a big kind of oval circle here right up to the end of January. For many weeks, we've been sitting at somewhere in the 3s, 3.1, 3.9, 3.5. We're now sitting at 3.3 months of inventory. It is a balanced market type of situation, but right at the bottom of a balanced market. And that's why we have, 33% or so selling at list price or more. That was all of Toronto. Here's Toronto broken down into 9 different sections. Scarborough, 2.1 is the months of inventory, 31% sold at list price or more. East York, 1.9 is the months of inventory. Rexdale, Downsview, 2.1 is the months of inventory. Our downtown corridor here, months of inventory is sitting between 3 months of inventory to 4.4 months of inventory. If we're right downtown, 4.4 is the months of inventory. About a third, 34% sold at list price or more. So 71 condos were sold right at downtown. We have 1,361 available condos, active listings, but only 71 were sold. So that's the city broken down. Etobicoke, we do lots of volume in Etobicoke as far as condos go. 3 months of inventory there, 40% in Etobicoke. The majority of those condos are in South Etobicoke, but 40% sold at list price or more. York Region. Let's focus on now condos for York Region. Sales for a few weeks in a row has been dropping. 43 condos were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Now sales were gradually climbing. We had the 1 week there, the end of March, where 66 were sold. So yeah, sales are down since that week, but 43 is slightly higher or kind of on par with what we were doing before. So it's not really fair to say sales are down. Sales are back to, we'll say, normal, what we've kind of been seeing over the first quarter of this year. Average sold price is $684,000, and overall kind of looks like average price is trending up, but if you look a little bit closer, it went up and then it's come down. Compared to last year, $684, really rounded, there's no percentage change in average sold price. It's slightly less, but rounded, it's still 0% change. The median price is 3% lower than where we were this time a year ago. And if we look at the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, yep, average price was going up, but ever since March started, kind of looks like it's trending down a little bit. So up and down again. 43 were sold, 37% sold at list price or more. That percentage has been trending up. Listings, active listings is trending up, but 1 week to the next, listings did come down to 119 condos listed, excuse me, across York Region. And the months of inventory up a bit, now sitting at 3 months of inventory. That's for York Region. Here's Peel. Condos for all of Peel Region. The majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga, but this is for all of Peel Region. 36 condos were sold. No condos sold at $1 million or more. Average sold price came way down to $584,000. I say way down because the week before we're at 643, 617, 633. Overall, average price has been trending up, but this 1 week kind of wondering what happened. 584 is 8% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 1% lower, and you can see with the dotted line that average and median have been trending up for a good part of this year. But this 1 week, something changed. 33 of those properties sold at list price or more. Listings have been trending down, and months of inventory slowly or slightly trending upwards. 3.3 is the months of inventory for condos across Peel Region. Here's a summary. Pretty much balanced market. We're at the bottom end of a balanced market. So there could be a situation where it's a little bit of a seller's market in certain buildings and certain pockets, but overall, pretty much a balanced market when you're looking at condos across the GTA in all the different regions. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. This chic studio is located in one of the trendiest buildings in the city. Have a look.